Hello, Jeffrey here. Welcome to another LinkedIn Sites session. We are really fortunate today to have a health insurance expert. All his other tricks up his sleeve I'm learning. So, welcome, Health Unicorn Mike with the unicorn on his head. How are you doing?
Doing well, brother. How are you?
It's great. I love the accessories. Men don't accessorize as much, and that why do you, let's start before I ask what you do. Why? Well, maybe it'll come up, but why the unicorn?
Honestly, my daughter loves unicorns. It's inspired by her, and I figured I'm unique in my industry, so I had to stick out, and a unicorn kind of did that.
Well, as someone who's a big fan of marketing, branding, sticking out is really important. So let's start with who you are and what do you do.
Okay, yeah, I'm Healthy Unicorn Mike. Of course, I have the unicorn on his head. I'm a nationally licensed, award-winning health insurance broker. I've been in the industry for 9 years, and I do have access to 95% of plans available.
And so, what's the main problem that you seem to be solving for people?
Saving them money, giving them peace of mind when it comes to health insurance. Health insurance is one of those languages that nobody speaks and that everybody needs. So, for me to be able to break it down in a way that people can relate to and save them money, get them things like PPOs and tax deductions and all the things that go into health insurance. It's my lane, and I'm happy to be in it. So, yeah.
Now, I've heard you say a lot of times that you're an award winning, and so tell me
Yes.
more. I'm curious about it. It always gets me, like coming from the film industry, award winning is always a good way to characterize your. What awards have I didn't know there were awards for health insurance.
Yeah, like
For
there's not Grammys and Academy Awards and Emmys and stuff like that, But what there is, so each firm, depending on where you're at with health insurance, if you do health insurance, life insurance, maybe you're dealing with annuities, investments, whatever. There's opportunities within firms to win awards, right? So in 2018, I actually won Agent of the Year, and then in 2019, I got second place for Agent of the Year. And the person I lost to was the person that sat next to me that I trained all year. So it was a student becoming the teacher moment, but I felt good about my Obi-Wan moment. It was cool.
um, and so who's an ideal customer for you? Who's that target you're looking to connect with?
The people I help the most are entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs, people that are self-employed, small businesses under 50 employees. It's probably the people I can help the most, usually save the most money to. And, they're usually the most receptive to the conversation about saving money in that capacity.
As an entrepreneur, I can say we're always interested in conversation to save money.
Yes, facts. That's a fact. I'm an entrepreneur myself, so that's why I relate to them so much.
Um, try to, LinkedIn sites give people some assistance. I always am interested in resources. So, can you name a business book or a podcast you think is really worth your investment and the time to consume it?
Yeah, yeah. I read a lot. Books are like my thing. So one of the books that was really formative for me was Sell or Be Sold. Grant Cardone was pretty great. I'm currently reading Power Shift by Damon John. Um, on my table right now is Winning with People, John C. Maxwell, and then Jump by Steve Harvey was great as well. Um, Podcasts, I don't really listen to that many podcasts. I'm actually in the process of getting interviewed for a lot of podcasts. That's this type of interview, But most of the things I do is I read a lot. So those couple of books have been pretty formative, and then a lot of multimillionaires that I talk to read the Alchemist.
It's one of my wife's favorite books, actually.
See? See?
Uh, it, it works on so many different levels.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently.
Um, can you name a brand you admire and why do you admire them?
And that was the funny part is I was remembering that question. And I was like, that's the most difficult aspect of things, right? Because of how people conduct and how people run their business, right? But I'd say I like the branding of companies like Mutual of Omaha. You know, I like the branding
And it doesn't
of
have to be healthcare. It can be
say it
any
again.
brand. It doesn't have
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
healthcare. It can be any
I
brand.
just I speak that language, but of course I'm a
All right.
Steelers fan, so I love everything about the Steelers, right? Um,
No comment. That's all I can say is a diehard Eagles fan.
but I like the branding specifically of Northwestern Mutual because they're branded in a way to talk about their excellence. That some of the accomplishments that they've done. Um, I think they're sponsors of the Rose Bowl, for example. And being able to do that from an insurance perspective is very powerful because they're making a difference in people's lives. I do that daily from a health insurance perspective, so I really relate to the way they're approaching it from a uh, business perspective.
And this next question is always the one that's a little tricky because I'm asking you to kind of just pick someone of your many well-connected persons that you have. But if you could name one LinkedIn connection that you're kind of happy you're connected to, aside from myself, of course.
Well, you were going to be the number nine. You eliminate. I did. Okay. Okay. Me and Samantha Kelly and I actually just had a great meeting this morning, and that was great. I actually have three of them that come to mind. So Samantha Kelly, who deals with she's the Twitter queen. She knows everything Twitter, and she speaks LinkedIn fluently, and she actually has a group, Women Inspire, and she's doing some big things, great things. I was happy to connect with her. Who else? Troy Holt. Me and Troy run a lot of rooms together on Clubhouse. Great guy. Um, I always love hanging out with him because he knows that I know what I'm talking about. So he's always like, no, Mike really knows what he's talking about. And he has 25 years of experience. So that type of recommendation, that type of credence is fantastic. And then the last one there, Dan Roth. Me and Dan has connected on
I love it,
Clubhouse,
Dan.
on and off. Dan's a great guy, and he helped me actually get a lot of my LinkedIn stuff in order. I'm still working on it, Dan, so don't the heart hold me to it. But Dan has been tremendous. We've connected on off the app. We have each other's personal numbers. I talk to him at least probably once a week. Great guy.
He's really doing amazing stuff. Not just, I mean, he's an amazing recruiter, and that's his, bread and butter. But he's a great human being and really trying to
Yeah.
help people. And I'll give him a shout out again because he's great. Um, some people, well, usually anyone who knows me a little bit knows I'm a little obsessed with purple. So, what's your favorite color?
Royal blue. Royal blue.
Nice. Well, purple is a royal color, so
That's
you
true.
know royalness of colors. Now, if you were going to create an animated explainer video, what would you want people to remember about your business?
Um, that's funny that you sent me that one too, and I was like, what am I going to say about this one? Right. I would want them to know pretty much my branding, like I'm Health Unicorn Mike, your friend with benefit options, we did a video actually with my kids the other day. That's going to be actually coming out as an ad. And one of the old taglines I was using before I came up with your friend with benefit options was if you'll let the duck save you 15%, and you'll let or if you let the gecko save you 15%, let the duck save you 20%, then let Health Unicorn Mike save you 30%. One of those two would have probably been the go-to one for, especially for animation.
And speaking of anime, my final question is: who's your favorite animated character of all time?
Batman. I am a die-hard Batman guy. I think Batman can beat anybody with prep time. Now, without prep time, he gets smacked up every time. But with prep time, I always relate to him. And the funny part is, the story of Batman. I'm not rich. I don't have a cool suit and a car and all that jazz, right? But what I relate to is him overcoming adversity, right, and still being able to do the greater good. And the thing is with Batman that always ties me to him is that he's all about a utilitarian ethic, right? Which is doing the greatest good for the greatest number of people. Maybe Ra's al Ghul is probably a better example of that, but the reality is that Batman's doing it, as a regular human, still with all the other superheroes that have powers and skills and speed and just everything, and he's just up there like using his brain and using his prep time and his preparation to get prepared. So for me, I relate to Batman because I think that if I'm prepared, and I know what I'm getting in myself into, and I can ingratiate myself into it, then I think that I'm going to be the best version of myself. And that's where the health insurance thing comes in. So Batman, that's my guy.
So there have been a whole lot of movies. You don't have a favorite uh, actor who's played Batman?
Christian Bale. I Christian Bale. I liked him the most as Batman, but candidly speaking, I the villains that he went against, the Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, was the best super villain I've ever seen in my life, by far, bar none. So yeah, the Batman movies are great, but I'm probably a bigger fan of the comics. If it was going to be a movie, um, I would go with Black Panther. Black Panther was pretty transformative, and I really loved the approach that they.
Black Panther too, right? So we could do animated Black Panther.
See, yeah, we gotta work on that. That's a great idea right there.
Now, when I think of Batman, for whatever reason, and I love all the different Batmans, I still go with Lego Batman. Will
Lego.
you just
But
something about him.
that the voiceover on Lego Batman was hilarious. That was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he was great. Well, Mike, this has been great. Thanks for sharing a little bit of your time and letting us know. And if anyone out there needs assistance with healthcare, insurance, Unicorn Mike is the one to speak to. So thanks very much and happy connecting.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.